I don't know if that's better or not. I honestly can't tell what's going on with the stream because it's when I look at it later on like YouTube or Twitch VODs, then it's different than what I saw. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Is it because it's seeing bodies? Are the cameras seeing bodies and then like flipping out? No, I can't get out that way, can I?
Beautiful work, V. Stove's finished, even if you don't know it yet. Big thanks. Contract's closed.
Is it much better? All right.
Flying at you.
Sweet. I'm learning a lot about streaming today, thanks to you. All right. What's over there? Now they've got a tank. Yeah, when I check out the VODs later, I'll certainly notice if there's a big difference. Right now I'm getting really staticky audio. No. Oh! We have more crafting to do. Let's do this crafting. Ah, yes. Oh, that's Archangel. I'll do that. What do we got? We got 20,000 here. Having great internet is everything. Literally everything. Because if it, like, my job relies on having fast internet. Yeah, once you have fiber, going back to like cable or, God forbid, DSL, it's impossible. And I did praise China for having high-speed internet earlier, but I do have to warn you that if you go to China, the connection to anything outside of China is horrendous. Like, you'll get legit, like, they just literally slow down Google if you try to Google too much. Like, just to fuck with you. Alright, I can make legendaries now. Holy shit. Holy shit. And there's a legendary grenade. If I can... Wait. Oh, it costs a legendary. Let's... So the epic one here, you'll see, it does not cost even a rare to make. But the legendary costs a legendary. I'm going to try making one and see what happens. And then try to mulch it. +3? Wait. Is that real? Wait. Okay. You just get it back then. Oh, the item system is horrible. It's totally horrendously convoluted and doesn't make sense, and also easily exploited. So you're perfectly justified in not appreciating it. I don't really enjoy it myself. But I'm determined to get the best gear, and that means I have to engage with this system. Because you're never going to find... You'll find the occasional legendary, like on a vendor and stuff, like I did with the Overture. But the best gear is obviously you gotta make. Offline WoW. Yeah, pretty much. It's not it's not well designed. And that's about the only thing I can say for it. Okay. 13, 15. Get rid of that. 1584, 1516. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. The crafting system's horrible. Let's be real. All right. So we got 30 legendary components. Let me see here. Am I correct that this is actually increasing the number of legendaries? I guess it is because I get freebies. What I'll do is I'll do until I get down to 20, and then we're going to dismantle all those grenades and see what happens. So I got 12 grenades. Boom, I've created 8. I got 8 legendaries from crafting and then disassembling grenades. YouTube can take more than 6K, but Twitch will block it. I didn't know that. That's alright, the crafting shit is boring. I mean, legit, it's bad. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean, it's just questionable and poorly done and probably full of bugs. I think it's full of bugs because I've had weird situations where they give you the opportunities to. Here, let me show you the example. Here it is. The gold-plated baseball bat. Look, if I upgrade this to Epic from Rare, it goes down in DPS. How does that make sense? If you look at it now, it's above. It's like 1200. What? I don't get it. It's broken. Their item system is just broken. It doesn't gain anything. It gets worse. It gets worse if you make it epic. So I haven't. Like I literally tested it a couple times too, where I converted it to an epic and it made it worse in every situation. So I just gave up on trying to do anything with it. Instead, I'm just exploiting a couple perks I have right now, which is in crafting, you can reduce component cost of crafting items by 30% and gain more components when disassembling, and disassembling grants a 15% chance to gain a free component of the same quality, and I think that's it. Yeah, those three combined basically have made this a money factory where I no longer, like, I can just sit here and do this until I run out of legendary, and then I'll just disassemble all those grenades. Oh, I have to use an F. Okay, so I'll have to make some of those later. So it is using some. It's using one common, one uncommon. So two commons, one uncommon, one rare, one epic, and one legendary. And I'm getting back multiples of all these things. It legit makes no sense. And combined with some of the perks that I have, where I can make one and sometimes it'll just give it to me for free. Like right there, it gave me a free one. Free legendary grenade. Let's see if it does it again. I think it's like a 20% chance. There, I got another free one, another free one. There. Now I'm out. Then we go back to my backpack. We go back to the grenades. Here, now we've got 44 of these grenades. I only had 30 some legendary components. And look what it's giving me back. 3 rares, 1 epic, so I get back the epic, and then I'm getting 3 of the legendary and 1 of the item components. So, and then there's a percent chance here that it gives me more than that. And so here you see I've got 66. I've doubled the amount of legendary components. I've trivialized the entire system. Yeah, you get more than you put in, which makes no sense. It's like it's breaking a fundamental law of physics, the law of conservation of mass. This one I'm really curious about. So that costs 3 and 1. Let me go look at that. That would be in mods. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. And this one as well. What did it cost? It cost 1 rare and 1 legendary, and it'll give that back. And it grants immunity to poison and shock. Yeah, the whole crafting system is not well thought out. Which one's better? Is this better? This seems better then. Yeah, I like a bunch of these. So we had 63 legendary. You just got a free one. It's just so stupid. This is what I was doing for an hour before I started streaming. And then what I do is when I hit my crafting max, then I'll go and do adventures again. It's definitely an oopsie. In some ways. In other ways, it's kind of like... Okay, so I think it has... There's 2 ways to fix this. Number 1 is that if this is intentional and they wanted you to trivialize it because it's primarily a single player game, so it doesn't really matter, then give me a slider here and let me max craft and just make 30 of these right now, or as many as it'll allow me to, and then just give me bonus ones based on my perks. Instead, they gave me this loading bar, and they're forcing me to sit here and click and hold, click and hold, click and hold. And then, so this isn't fun, so let me just max craft whatever I'm crafting if I'm going to exploit the system. So that's option 1. Option 2, at least celebrate what's going on here. Like, ding, you got this. Ding, you got another one of these. And like, yeah, it'll get tedious after a while, but there are other instances where it's actually good and you want that. And I'll show that in a second. It is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. No one should have this. You only need 1 of these to stick on 1 piece of armor anyways. And you've got immunity to poison and shock, which to me is kind of stupid, but yeah, whatever, I'll take it. The real shock here will be if I come out of this with less than 60. Then I'll be upset. Like, what the fuck happened? Yeah, just add them all. Celebrate what you're making and let me max craft a stack of stuff. Why am I sitting here doing this? Let me select multiples and then disassemble them all at the same time. Why? Why? Why this? Why have they done this? That's what I want to know. Oh my god. They also trivialize their monetary system with this as well. Because you can generate infinite whatevers, crafting components, and thus whatever weapon you want, you can just sell rifles and shit, the highest price rifle, over and over again until you loot the 20k they have by default, and then go to the next one and do it again. Yeah, quality of life stuff is lower priority than, I say, fixing bugs, for sure. There you go, 78. So what did I gained like more than 10. Oof. How much legendaries do these cost anyways? They only cost 1? Let me check the perks real quick. Actually, there's a reason not to do it, I think, which is also a flaw in their perk system. So here you can see crafted weapons deal 5% more damage. Okay. Upgrading for free. Improves damage and all damage related stats of crafted weapons. I guess my question is, if I upgrade a weapon, is that considered crafted now? Because if so, then I have to wait until I get this perk before I upgrade all the iconic items. Like, yeah. Yeah. By no means is this a bad game. By no means is this a bad game. But I did my first playthrough and I got to the ending, and right now my sole purpose is to analyze and understand. Oh, that's right. Um, 05. So I don't want to upgrade this until I figure out the whole crafting thing. That is to say, I can't upgrade any of these until I figure out if the crafting, if it's considered a crafted item when you upgrade it, because I don't know yet. Well, I'm actually going to have to make some FX grenades. But yeah, I've trivialized their monetary system. Yeah, I think at some point I'll have to do my Cyberpunk analysis video, which is not a live stream. It's just I'll probably have to do a PowerPoint, I think, and then go through all the components and why they're broken and how they can fix them. I have a pro game designer series that I started. I did one video for it, and it was just about documentation. And I want to expand that series, and maybe bridging the gap by using Cyberpunk 2077 would be a good way to do that. And then sort of explaining all the things from a game design perspective, like what's broken and how it can be fixed. because I think that's the important part. I don't want to just shit on Cyberpunk. I want to like say, hey, this is how you can fix it, and then CD Projekt Red will ignore me, and that'll be fine. Because that's what normally happens. I actually did apply for a job there, and I was rejected. Yeah, I probably should write these down. I don't know. My thoughts are pretty consistent. But actually, there's no harm in writing it down. It would help to have a bullet-pointed list when I make the video, and that would also help with the PowerPoint. Now that you mention it. Where's my index cards? Here you are. Let's see. What do we need to analyze? What do people want to know? So, Cyberpunk. 77 analysis. So, the crafting system. Infinite production. Creation. Nothing. Epic. And legendary grenades. Perks. Flaws. Knife throwing. Junk disassembly. What else do I got? Good way to get back at CDPR for rejecting me? Nah, they'll never see this. They'll never watch my videos. No one cares. It's fine. I got rejected for a writing gig. Because they actually put out a call. They were like, we need people from California who are, good writers who know game design. And I'm like, I was born in California, lived there for the majority of my life, was a Cyberpunk fan from the age of like 12, and yeah, I'd love to write for this. And they were like, nah, we'll just find someone in Poland. I'm like, really? I mean, the writing's not terrible. There's been a few things where I'm like, but overall, I'd say the game is really well written, so I can't really complain or say that I would have done a better job. But oh right, the epic upgrades, reduce DPS, gold bat, iconics. Question mark? Oh yeah. This also, the crafting system also leads to trivialized money. Though that's just an offshoot from that. What else? No point in talking about bugs. I'm only interested in the design flaws. Ugh. So now I gotta make frag grenades. It's been a while since I've done that. It cost 4? Oh my. Well, that's a good use for commons, I guess. Look at this. Now I have to make how many of these? Maybe they were trying to make it so tedious that you didn't exploit it. I mean, I guess if you're investing the time, that could be one of the things. It could be like, because there's a time factor involved, they felt that it was okay. But bad. It's bad because it creates tedious gameplay. Which is not what you want in your crafting system. I mean, This is effectively like in World of Warcraft, where you have to sit at the forge and wait for an animation to play. Do they still do that? Actually, I don't know if they do. Yeah, epic upgrades reducing the quality of the items. I don't know how that got by, but sure did. Sure fucking did. Oh, and also now we have to see if we can get legendary what do you call these? Patches. So many things to do with crafting. Exciting stuff, right? Basically, I'm doing this until I hit 18. World of Warcraft was cost prohibitive? Oh, because of the monthly fee. Yeah. I hear you. My rule was always I can only play one subscription model game at a time. And it was WoW for a time. It was EverQuest before that. Ultimately, I regret all those many hours. I guess I don't fully regret it, because that game knowledge became useful for... The game knowledge I got from EverQuest became useful for World of Warcraft, but I certainly could have learned it in much less time than I spent in the game. Probably like 1,000 hours or something. I really should have sold my characters at some point. Now they're worthless, so it doesn't matter. If I had, though. Alright, let's see if we got a legendary. We did not. Got some purples, though. Wait. Cool it. Oh, yeah, we bought that one. So, no legendary. Not yet. So maybe we just got unlucky. Wait. No. Maybe we just got unlucky. Let's start scrapping these. Notice how the commons have like 111 armor on them, and then these 3 decimal points. What sort of multiplier are they using to end up with 3 decimal points? It's really weird. I'm not sure how their armor system works. That's probably something I should take a look at. So I did not get a... Huh. These are 178, these are 168. I made both. Is it because of my level? Thematically appropriate to have 3 decimal places? Sure. So I'm wondering if the level of the crafter matters, or if it's the level of the crafting skill. Weird. Oh, these glasses are too much. No, I can't see. Shit. I need my alternate glasses. Oof. You're tempted by LASIK? I've heard really good and really bad things. I imagine that by now it's probably pretty safe. But I've heard enough horror stories about permanent damage that it's scared me off trying. I thought about it. I don't know. Definitely not right now. But if my vision gets worse, I think that I would definitely consider it. Not that my vision is great. Just it's not so bad that I'm looking for a reason. Alright, so I made this sniper rifle. It's a smart sniper rifle. So that's super exciting for me. And we'll get back to it. Because we're still crafting. And we need to dismantle grenades. 86 of them. Holy shit. How are these equipped? 141 legendary components. This is so stupid. It's so dumb. How does this happen? I don't know how it happens. And my guess is that whoever did the crafting system just didn't care. That's my guess. They just weren't that interested. That actually happens a lot in games. You'd be surprised how often. There's like a designer who doesn't want to do a system, but they get assigned it by the lead, and then they're stuck with it. So they do the best they can, but they're really not that enthused by it, so it just sort of comes out. I mean, it's functional and it has all the components, but it's clear that they weren't like jazzed to be doing it. That comes across in the work quite often. I don't know, maybe they were super enthused by it. Yeah, there have been lots of improvements to LASIK. I don't think there's anything to fear, but there's always that small % chance of something going horribly, horribly wrong, and that's any kind of surgery scares me. Yeah, the whole epic legendary stuff. It's like they took it straight out of World of Warcraft. It feels like Warcraft sort of standardized these things. And now everyone uses it. I guess it came from Diablo 2. Now that I think about it. My bad. And then, yeah, no, it did. It came from Diablo 2, and then it got copied across to World of Warcraft. Almost entirely the same. And after World of Warcraft, everyone was doing it. It should feel distinct, you're right. And does it even make sense? Like, in this world, in Cyberpunk, to have legendary guns? Like, I guess? but does that make them operate better? And if so, how so? Like, Skippy is cool. Skippy's the coolest gun in the game. In terms of, like, that makes sense. But I don't understand. I mean, I've got to, like, for example, having an epic, iconic item like Johnny's jacket, and you can make it legendary. How do you make it legendary? Like, it doesn't make sense. Diablo 2 was a great game. Yeah. Diablo 3, not so much. Maybe Diablo Mobile will be the best Diablo yet. Don't you have a phone? Blizzard will never get past that. You should lose faith in Blizzard. To be honest, it's not Blizzard anymore. When people like Mike Morhaime and Frank Pierce, Chris Ziggety, I mean, all those people are gone. The founders are gone except for one, Alan Adham. A lot of the heart of the development teams have left. There's still Samwise Didier. I mean, Chris Metzen is gone. Holy fuck. Chris Metzen was Blizzard. Like, how do you lose the war chief? And yeah, it's sad. It's not Blizzard anymore. Just not. I wish it were, but you can tell Activision has... Yeah, I've mentioned them before in some of my videos where I'm talking about corporate necrosis and how companies eventually succumb to corporate garbage. I mean, CD Projekt Red is demonstrating that right now. I don't have any insider information, but these decisions they've made recently are not good. Clearly focused on the money side of things, and probably coming from that side of things, which means that the development team is making less decisions. And that's just how it goes. And then there'll be a new startup, and someone will be the next Blizzard. It's harder these days, because it's harder to get that angel investing. Kickstarter helped a lot for a while, but it sort of died down. It's still doing good for board games, but I haven't seen a lot of big video game titles on there. And honestly, a lot of the video game titles I do see on Kickstarter are fraudulent. They're promising things they cannot do. And that's sad, because it ruins it for everyone. Yeah, CDPR does treat their devs like shit. They also pay shit. That was one of the things that sort of put me off them. There's bad pay, extreme crunch, and basically no respect. And legit, I can't remember if it was in a phone call or what. I think it was a phone call that I had when I was interviewing. They said, it's hard to remember. I wish I'd recorded it, but I don't record my calls. Something along the lines of, well, you're very expensive, and we could get 2 juniors to do the same job. And I'm like, wow. It wasn't that exactly. It was something along those lines. And so they don't respect talent or experience, and I imagine that their churn rate at their company is very high. It wasn't exactly that. It was close to that. It was something along those lines. I was reading between the lines, but ultimately it boiled down to like you're too expensive, so why bother? Which I mean, I guess if you're like a factory job, I guess if you're like a factory line worker and that's how they think of games, I see how that mentality makes sense. But this is game development. This is where experience matters the most. So you don't waste your time doing stupid shit and you make the best stuff. Like this crafting system, I could have improved in 24 hours. If they'd given me all the documentation for this crafting system, I could have looked at it and then like within a couple days returned to them. I would have fixed it. 100%. I know for a fact that that is true. So it's just sad. It's just sad. It is a bad look. Oh, that's my phone. Yeah? Hello? What? What do you need? What do you want? The other... The bread? Bread and water. Okay. Gotta take care of the wife. Yeah?
I don't know how to open doors now.
You don't know how to open doors?
Yeah.
That's really sad. You get it. You get it. Look at your money. Oh. Oh, wait, I was just gonna push this button. See, this is why I need a macro, so that the fucking thing can do this for me and I don't have to think about it. What I'm trying to do is see if I can get a legendary. Because I noticed when I got the epic, the ability to make epics, when I was making common... what do you call these? Mods? Some of them came out as epics, which you saw earlier. But there's no consistency in that because there's... like, you can't accidentally get a legendary grenade. You have to make a legendary grenade. And there's even legendary patches that are only legendary. So how does that make sense? There's just so many inconsistencies. It's really weird. Maybe you can't get legendary versions of them. Was I making resist? No. What was I making? It's these. Yeah. Damage. I'm definitely getting more epic versions, which is interesting. So it's clearly upped the percent chance of the next higher level. But I didn't get any legendary. And I haven't gotten any legendary mods at all. So maybe that's not possible. Good lord. It is strange. Strange and inconsistent. Mod. Making. Inconsistent. It's weird. I understand why they might have done this, though. So if you think about it, why would you ever build the commons again? Once you got the epic version. You wouldn't. You would never build them again. So this prevents obsolescence of the commons by making it a percent chance to get a higher tier when you make them. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Certainly the numbers need to be balanced better. These are actually quite useful, so I'll just sit on those. These are not as useful. This is also tedious and boring. I don't know if it's as intended. It's obviously as designed, but I'm not sure what the intent behind this design was. It could be... like, if I had designed this way, and my intent was to get them to use the commons over and over again, I would have designed all weapons that way. Everything would be a common that you find, and you would craft common items, and there's a chance that it's epic or legendary or rare or uncommon, and thus none of them would ever be obsoleted. But to do it's like they had two different crafting systems. I think that might be intended. I think epic's becoming more common, at least in terms of the mods. That is the intended behavior, yes. I'm 99% sure of that. But the inconsistency between how the mods behave and other things makes me wonder if multiple people designed these things and they were separate from each other and did not consult with each other on this, which is possible. Very possible. Plausible, even, perhaps. The other possibility is that I'm just getting lucky and I just happened to get more epics when I was making these. That is another possibility. I didn't realize how many of these I made. That's because I really wanted that legendary. It just didn't happen. And why can't I do this to multiple things? That's the one that drives me crazy. It's like, why can't I just select multiple and then hit disassemble all? Probably has something to do with consoles, but I don't think so. Oh, one more grouping. Commons. So you can see how I've generated more components than I ever had before. Prior to getting all the perks, it was like, even without all the perks, it was you were slowly converting commons to uncommons, and so you could run out of commons, but those are easy to pick up and trash. Like, you can trash junk and get commons. So it was like a trivial consequence. But now it's like, yeah, there's nothing stopping me from abusing this. Other than the time sink, which makes me think maybe the time sink is on purpose. Maybe that's why everything takes time. Even this takes like 20 into 2/4 of a second. Okay. I really need to find the movement speed one because I want to abuse that. Okay. Oh, did I have... I already did these. No, I did not. Ozob's nose. I met Ozob. Is that how I got this? I'm not sure. So now I can make Crash. I don't know. Can make basically anything at this point. So compelling. Tell you what, I'm gonna take this offline. I don't see a reason to stream this. That way I can watch YouTube videos.